Okay, we're going to continue on here. This is going to be part 9, which is survival of the fittest. Now, I'm waiting on Sandra's car to cool down. I'm going to change her oil. I took it to go get some oil and stuff, and so it's just too hot to mess with right now. So I don't burn my little hand. I am just going to figure I'd do another video, another part in this whole presentation, and it looks like it might work out good because I only have just a couple slides to go over, so I'm not going to do a screen recording. But if you'll notice on the screen, it says, what about survival of the fittest? The strong survive and the weak die off and are just another step on the progress of the organism. Can we see that? Well, let's continue on here. Natural selection relies on existing information in the DNA. Nothing new is added. A weaker, sickly organism either dies off or is taken by a predator. This is a loss, not a gain of information. Evolution theorizes that new helpful information is added to the existing information. This has never been seen. It is a theory. Harmful mutations do not prove evolution, but does prove natural selection. Survival of the fittest lines up more with natural selection, which lines up more with the Bible. Sin introduced death. Creation now groans. As we talked before, the last video, we talked about creation, that verse that talked about creation groanings. And it says, only those that are healthy and strong carry on existing DNA. No new DNA is added to the organism. If it did, it would be a harmful mutation, which has been observed. And so natural selection is something that can be observed, but you're not going to create a new organism from it. If it has a mutation, it's going to be harmful, but you're not adding anything new to the DNA code. You're not adding anything new to it. It's harmful. That's not proven evolution. If they try to prove evolution by showing examples of mutations, that's not proven. You're not proving evolution. You're actually proving natural selection, which is it's true. It's real. But they're not giving an example of, let's just say, a cat turning into a dog by showing mutations. That's where they lack that at. And that's what a lot of times what you'll see. They'll talk about how natural selection can produce a new organism, but they show examples of harmful mutations that actually goes against the theory. So, there's no transitional fossils that's been found. Nothing. Like dinosaurs. They said that the dinosaurs that survived the meteorite that hit the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico 65 million or 66 million years ago, they're saying that those dinosaurs that survived are the ones that turned into the birds of today. Well, there's no transitional fossils to prove that. And so, at any rate, the Bible talks about in Exodus 4:11, this is the contrast of that. And the Lord said unto him, who hath made man's mouth? Who maketh the dumb? That's people that can't speak, or the deaf, they can't hear, or the seeing, or the blind, have not I the Lord? And so what's God saying is, I'm in complete control, in the end, on who has what and who does not have what. And so, now don't get me wrong, man's sin has created a curse on this planet, and all creation has suffered because of the choices man made back in the beginning. But this here, what was happening here is that Moses was trying to get out of going to Pharaoh and being the man that God used to bring the children of Israel out of Egypt. And so evidently Moses had a speech impediment. Maybe he had a bad stuttering problem. Well, this is where God said, hey, have not I, who maketh the, isn't me that made the man's mouth, or maketh the dumb, the deaf, or the seeing, the blind, have not I the Lord? And so what he's doing is he's telling them, hey, listen, I'm in control of that anyway. And so, and it's really wild how even in the New Testament, you can still see this. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, or that he was born blind? So see, they had that belief system that if something happened to somebody, it was because of something that they did. And there's a lot of people today, even Christians, whenever somebody has something happen in their life, oh man, it must be because of something this guy did in his past. And so, we got to be real careful of that, because we cannot judge an individual because of something that happened bad in their life or good in their life, because there's a lot of bad and good things that happen to people that aren't even born again. So that's a argument that really can't be have any foundation to it. And because good and bad happens to everybody, and so that's just not something that we should use. If something bad happens to you, it doesn't mean necessarily that you did something that was bad. It could be. You got to kind of look at it in its context. And so if you go into a store and you steal something and you come out and you get caught and go to jail, well, that's because it's your own dumb fault. And so, but bad and good happens to both, the unsaved and the saved. And so, but Jesus answered and said, neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be manifest in him. So there was a plan for this man way back before he was born. God knew that Jesus was going to come and was going to heal this guy. So it says, when he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground, made some clay out of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay. And he said, go wash in the pool of Siloam. He went his way, therefore, and washed and came seeing. And so now there's nothing special that what he did in the play by spitting in it and making some mud and putting some mud in that guy's eye. That was just what he did for that guy there. But Jesus, there was many times he just spoke and the person was healed, or he told him to go wash and go do certain things. So it wasn't anything that was any special because of what he did with the clay. And so that's just what Jesus did. And so, I bet you he probably did just to make us discuss it. And so, but let's take a look at this. It says, lift up your eyes to the heavens and look upon the earth beneath, for the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall be abolished. So what he's talking about is the heavens and the earth and the life forms that are all here we're all getting worse and worse and worse. It's all coming to an end, y'all. It's not getting better and better and better, as evolution would say. And even now, in certain scientific circles, you can see it on the news programs and stuff. They're trying to do things with humans and DNA and machines that are trying to get us into the next evolution step, the next step in the evolutionary ladder. And guys, it's bizarre, some of the things that they're talking about. But you know what? God says that that's not going to happen. And so we are actually getting worse and worse and worse. And what's really wild is that each generation is worse off than the previous generation. And so, and it's just, once you reach a certain age, exponentially things start happening to you, especially when around 50, 60 years old. And I'm in my 50s, so I can attest to that. Things just start happening, And right now I'm dealing with tendonitis in both arms, believe it or not. I've been dealing with it now for, let's just say about 7 months now, close to 8 months I've been dealing with tendonitis. And so, it is what it is. It's just the old body's breaking down. And so, but at any rate, the next video that we're going to talk about is going to be, we're going to revisit the meteorite theory, where people said that a meteorite killed the dinosaurs off. We're going to talk about that again. And for my Facebook people, I did do a video about that, doing a Bible question answer video. But we're going to talk about that again. And I'm going to add some stuff to it that I didn't have in the first one. And so, but we're going to talk about that. And so that way you'll have a little background on it when people come up to you. This is for my Bible believers out there. And so, but at any rate, guys, I hope this video has helped. And so, hey, listen, if you got something wrong with you, join the crowd. So everybody, everybody. I used to have a real bad stuttering problem back when I was a kid. Oh, it was bad. I had to go to a speech therapist. And I don't think I'm a real good orator now. And so you can get that a lot of times when I'm reading this stuff. I'll get tripped up on words and stuff. Hey, the Lord can still use me, though. And so, are you in a wheelchair, or anything like that? Are you having a hard time? Maybe you can't do certain things that other people can't do. Well, maybe you can do things that other people can't do. And so it's the same way. The Lord can work through each and every one of us, even those of us that did some really bad things in the past. Hey, I'm one of those. You want to go into my past? And so I could tell you some things that make your jaw drop. And so, that's the thing that's different when it comes to the world and when it comes to the Lord. The world would write off people like us. But the Lord says, you know what? I could use you. As long as you believe and you got enough faith and you have a willingness, I can use you. And I've heard it stated that the world has yet to see what God can do with just one person that's willing to do it. And so, it's just sad that, that's the way it is, though. In this world here, only those that are strong and handsome and beautiful seem to get all the attention, and the rich and all that. But the people that are, that don't have that, they're kind of just forgotten. And you can go into other nations and other countries, and Christians, oh my gosh, y'all, Christians are suffering horribly, horribly. They're being killed. Their children are being killed, all because of this. They believe in Jesus. And so there's other countries that if you try to proselyte somebody else into the faith, that's a death sentence. That's a death sentence. And so we just ought to be thankful for what we have, and just, hey, if you got clothes on your back and you got food in your stomach and you got shelter, be thankful. Thank the Lord for that. And so, because there's many people out there that are just destitute, and for whatever reason. And so we just got to be real careful not to judge those individuals because of that. And so, because we don't know why. Was it a choice they made, or was it just, they just fell under hard times? And so I saw a lot of that when I was with the sheriff's office. I saw a lot of both sides. Let's just say that. And so, but we ought to pray for them. And it's the same thing. We ought to pray for our leaders. Evil as we see some of the things that they're trying to do, we're still to pray for them. Because the Bible states it. And so, but at any rate, guys, I hope this has helped you out. Be looking forward to the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.